Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. Another recording session. I think we need 5 Tavern Brawls and then 5 victories with Priest. And the Tavern Brawl is back. Good. I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, that can't be wrong. Today is a Tavern Brawl day, I know it is. So let's start with that. Hoping this is an easy Tavern Brawl. Maybe I could get 5 victories with the Priest on the Tavern Brawls and get everything to work. So this is the Party Portals. The mid-votes are putting together a special show, and you are to star summon minions with various portals to create a most excellent performance. And I don't get to pick who I'm playing as, so I assume this is going to be mid-vote, which is, I believe, a mage. So, this might line up well, but probably not. Switch to the Hearthstone deck tracker, hopefully it's working.
Versus Medivh!
Medivh. Hello.
Let the games begin.
I have given up
have.
on trying to pronounce video games names. Let's see. Draw 1, deal all enemy damage. Add a random minion. We'll take a couple unstable portals and this Maelstrom portal. It's nothing but portals. The expansion.
And now Medivhs!
You're dialed?
See, portals cost 1 less, does not count as a minion. Interesting. So this character doesn't count as a minion? And so Wands, Wonder Troves, and Mark Moonwalker. This is crazy. So deal 1 damage to all enemy minions wouldn't even do 1 damage to them because they don't have a health of defense. This is crazy. Nope. Oops, made a mistake there.
Job's done.
Well, does it take up one of the 7 spots? I assume it does. This is a crazy Tavern Brawl, I can already tell. So I just finished Anna's Quest. That was a huge disappointment of a game.
Hello there.
Let's see.
Hello there. Job's done.
So maybe
That's
this will win
incredible.
me. I don't have midva. I never paid for it, so I could sit here and play with all the responses.
I'll take you down with me.
Oh no, I can't.
So the good news is it doesn't seem like this is going to be too difficult. The bad news is I have nothing to do. Yeah, so I just finished Anna's Quest. Barely a game because it's so straightforward. You kind of are told exactly what to do, and if you do it, you win. Effectively, but although at the end of the game you don't really feel like much of a winner, the story takes a drastic turn and it changes the focus. Calling the game Anna's Quest isn't even accurate. Hey, that was a nice victory, but I've got to do 4 more of those. Wow. Because the main character of the story really isn't even Anna at the by the time you see the ending. And the ending literally ends on a cliffhanger, actually.
Let the games
It actually does
begin.
end on a cliffhanger.
They already
Somebody's
have.
actually hanging on a cliff at the end of the game. Not quite that bad. No, I mean, it is that bad. I mean, you could not more literally end the game on a cliffhanger than this game did.
And now, Medivas!
And so,
You
even if you
dialed?
did like Anna's Quest, because I did kind of like the character of Anna, I just kind of thought the game was too straightforward. There was no like red herring items to use. There weren't ever that many extra items, except for the one time at the very beginning when it became a nightmare because there was too many scenes.
We hunger for vengeance.
Let's go through this.
Oops, I broke it.
So, yeah, I mean, I left feeling very cheated at the end of that game. So now I need to move on to, like, Frankenstein's Monster. I believe it's what it is. It's kind of an adventure and maybe a puzzle point click hidden object game too. I'm not sure. It seems like it's rated pretty highly, but that may be on a sliding scale. I don't know what to do here, so I'm gonna just leave everything alone. So yeah, and then I'm in this weird position because I'm still waiting, and I'm kind of gonna wait for the next couple of weeks. I'm waiting until Resident Evil 4 its update comes out. If it doesn't come out and I don't start playing it pretty soon, then I need to wait a little bit more to the BioShock update and then play BioShock. And if both of those fall out of favor, then I need to potentially put something in the time slots of those two Halloween things. Which I have games certainly that would fit the Halloween theme. And it's close again, didn't even, to go back to it for a second, didn't even really fit the Halloween theme very well. It has trolls and the devil and witches in it, but that's kind of all it has in it.
Are you mocking me?
Let's get rid of this guy. So, yeah, but Costume Quest was so bad. The one thing I can say about Anna's Quest is at least it was fully voice acted. I barely said anything during the gameplay of that game because they were constantly talking because the game was constant dialogue. It was just like, I'm just gonna sit back and click on these few dialogue choices and that's it. I don't have anything else I need to do or can do.
Job's done.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot.
So yeah, that was probably the least amount of criticism I've ever put on a game because it was really all piled up in the last few minutes of the last episode while the credits were rolling. There really isn't a lot to say about the game anyways, and more as I cover games, it's becoming more like that. It's just like, that's a shame I don't have that guy anymore. Let's try this. But yeah, as I'm covering more and more games, it's just like, if something's non-offensive, particularly like Anna's Quest was not an offensive game to play except for maybe the puzzles were a little frustrating at the first, and I had to start over halfway through. But the story of the puzzles not offensive and not super great. There's not a ton to say. I think that's a good transition, however, to a game that was just announced, and I really was only going to talk about it in the thought that their naming of it is really, really bad.
Your
Simply
magic shall
because
not save you.
it's called Echo, which I know there's already a game I own called Echo on Steam. I'm pretty sure it's called Echo. And what it is you're this it's like this Danish or Dutch company, maybe those are the same thing. And you're this kind of thief or something that goes in this really nicely developed mansion with a lot of big walls and chandeliers and banisters and stuff. Looks like I'm about to lose here.
The dragons shall kneel before me.
So, you're in this computer that looks like a mansion, and it records the house itself, the computer, records your actions and everything you do. And here's the flaw of the game immediately in my mind, is that how many different things can you possibly do? If you play stealthily, the mansion records your stealth actions. If you pull out a gun, it records that. If you jump over a banister, it records that. If you jump over a table, it records that. It records all this, and then the power will go out, and then that's the computer rebooting. And when it reboots, it will summon doppelgangers of yourself. So it's the same character,
They already have.
that theme and the way that's all set up is kind of contrived, and that's the real thing of it, is just really contrived. But the doppelgangers will do whatever you did in the last cycle. So if it sees,
You dialed?
if it had recorded that you had pulled out a gun, if they had recorded that you jumped over a table, all of those characters, all of the doppelgangers can now do that. However, it's not like they're just copying you. It's not a game of there's a mirror and if you walk forward once, they will walk forward once. No, there is still AI components that are trying to kill you, but instead of having just the standard complete set of abilities like most games, which usually isn't that many abilities, you can limit them down to other abilities. When the lights go off, you can act with impunity because it's not recording you. So at that point, anytime the light goes off, the right move is always just to probably pull out your gun and shoot any doppelgangers, which I assume that the implication there is that enemies can't attack this turn. Interesting. I don't understand. Doesn't that mean all this? No, this is the death rattle ability.
Perhaps.
So if she dies, enemies can't attack any further. Interesting. Red Riding Hood, I don't think that's a real card. Maybe it is, but it can only be summoned to this party portal, which I'm not sure the party portal is a real card either. I'm not sure how many cards actually in this list are real cards. should have used the coin and killed this guy, actually. That was a bad choice on my part. So,
Job's done.
Echo doesn't particularly look like it's that interesting a game. I just wanted to talk about the naming convention. Don't name your game Echo. I mean, there's two things here that really scream out. It's like the concept maybe will be cool if you can add enough abilities to it, but you almost need to make a very detailed hardcore style game for all the different maneuvers, because if you just jump over a table, and it only records those abilities for like one cycle, so if you stop jumping over tables, they'll stop jumping over tables. Its whole thing is
Do you have the artifact?
a pretty contrived setup. Pretty contrived. And it's like, I kind of get what they're thinking, I just don't think they thought it all the way through. So that's Echo. Speaking of somewhat Nordic games, since Anna's Quest is made by Dalek and had some Nordic stuff in it, and Echo is a Danish or Dutch company, I think that's the same name. And THQ Nordic, the company we talked about a few recordings back, were the company that said they had like 23, I'm just randomly guessing a number here, but I think they said something along the lines of like 23 games in development.
Job's done.
I should have probably kept that card. It was just called Nordic Games before they renamed their name to THQ Nordic. That was the main part of it. They just released this game called Titan Quest Anniversary, which is, I assume, a remake of the original Titan Quest, which is a game I haven't actually played. But when I heard about it, this is my first hearing about it, it's like, oh, that looks like it. It's kind of like a Diablo-esque top-down fighter, fighting against Titans, I assume. And they gave the Titan Quest Anniversary to anybody who had owned any of the previous Titan Quest games for free, and they're selling the rest of it, and they just snuck it out there. Like, no press releases, anything. It's on Steam today, go get it. So I can only assume it's not a great game. You kind of have to make that assumption. Let's see.
Frosty Snowman!
This guy's talking quite a lot.
Bad times.
So, yeah, that's just another bit of kind of craziness. It's just, we're gonna throw out a game there. There's only two things you can assume from them not advertising the game at all. Either it's bad, which is the right assumption. I think I've even made the same argument before. And maybe from this same company.
I hear you got a problem.
Spooky Dog!
It's either a bad game that they're just trying to sneak out there and make some sales on, or your release schedule and the competition against everybody else's release schedule is so completely full up that you just don't have a week of extra announcements anywhere in the foreseeable future.
The damned stand ready.
And see, that just doesn't seem realistic enough to me that would be the case. So I have to assume it's a bad game. So maybe that's why I haven't heard Titan Quest, but I want to kind of get it. Speaking of things I want to kind of get for stupid reasons, I got the most recent Humble Bundle, which is the Sierra Bundle. So Sierra games, every single game on that list is probably easily put in the too old category of my library. On the bright side, it did knock me up to 500 plus games now, which gives you the Director of Acquisitions badge from Steam, which I thought was kind of funny. Let's put that one. Whenever one mass spell add a random mech to your hand. Let's go ahead and do this. So I got all of these Sierra games for literally no reason other than I wanted the new release of King's Quest. So that required you to pay $20. If I was to get the season 5 chapters plus epilogue of King's Quest, it would have cost me $25 anyway. So I look at it kind of as a bundle. In that bundle is the original King's Quest, so I could do little spotlights on it, maybe.
Interesting.
King's Quest is the notorious game for being kind of like the point-and-click adventure games of the Scum variety, although it's a lot easier to die in them. Almost no point-and-click adventure that's a Scum game can you actually game over and die. In Sierra games, you can do it frighteningly easy. So whenever a minion takes damage, destroy it. Alright.
Job
So
done.
I'm using Acid Maul against him. Or attempting to, at least. So yeah, I may do a spotlight of the King's Quest and then do the new King's Quest games. I played one of the Police Quest games, but the one that was a full motion video game and was a nightmare really to try to get to work. So
That's incredible.
Job done.
yeah, I'm gonna just keep using Acid Maul against them. But the rest of the games are kind of just going into an archive ownership thing. At 500 games, there is something to start thinking about. Like, there's more games in my library than there are days in a year. So if I spent an entire year just trying to play one of every game, like one game every day, it would still take me 2 years. And so we're starting to get down that level where there's definitely going to be games I just don't play. And it was always kind of destined to go that way. And that's fine, because that just means, like, not all 500 games I have are good games. We know that.
Soldiers of the cold dark.
And there's a lot of games out there that I'll just not ever be able to play. Like, Hacknet is getting a new expansion. Hacknet is kind of the expansion and extension of Uplink. That's a game that I enjoyed when it first came out, Uplink, but I'm not sure I'd ever really get it. So I could see myself getting a bundle of the Introvision games and not playing a lot of them, just having them. Of course, things could change. Like, suppose my channel got 1 million viewers, subscribers. I wouldn't want to change the format and like drive away that 1 million of subscribers I just got, but I could see myself if it was becoming a hugely successful business that I could hire on somebody's opinion that I actually appreciated, and then have them play games I didn't play.
That's
There's
incredible.
certainly a lot of games I probably would never play. So if I could find somebody that was love first-person shooters, love sports games, it'd be very easy to just assign those games to them. And if I had a good amount of those games already in my library, it's real easy to say, play this game, play this game for me. And that would just be more footage for everybody. Although it wouldn't be quite my opinion, you're not going to get my opinion on some games anyways, because like I said, sports games, first-person shooter games, my opinion on them is already pretty well founded in the sense that I don't want to play them, usually. So, let's move on. NVIDIA Vault 180 mod.
Let the game begin. Oh, they
So,
already have.
In what is an incredibly weird case of advertising, NVIDIA has made a mod called Vault 1080 for Fallout 4.
You rang.
So, they
you
are...
dialed.
Ooh, this is a different character. There's several different patrons here. So they made a mod that is pretty much just a giant stressor on your video card, and I'm sure it's designed to run on a 1080 perfectly and not much else. And that's all it really is. It's just like, look how good this can be with all these graphic effects and all these things we squeezed in there. Of course, there's a little bit of dishonesty, I would suspect, in this, because NVIDIA recently released like a VR test thing of Carnival games, and they were saying if you want to see this in 1080p, you need two 1080 video cards in SOI mode. And it's like they were, I was watching Giant Bomb cover that, and it's like, no, you really don't need any of that. That's a gross, inaccurate statement. Just completely inaccurate.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot.
For just to sell video cards, really. It seems like it's a waste of NVIDIA's time, and it shows that NVIDIA has too much money. Obviously, they're not investing it rightly. NVIDIA has but one job, in my mind, and that is to particularly ensure that, let's see, that they're making the best next series of video cards
real knight.
ever. And if they have extra money to make mods for games and stuff like that, they should.
What you want?
But they should do something else with it. I'm gonna go ahead and just kill this guy.
Here's where you're wrong.
So yeah, it's just make good video drivers and good video cards in video. We don't need you making mods to games. You're not video game creators, you're video card makers. There's a huge difference there.
Mount up!
I think since my board of things to talk about is written pretty widely here, I think I'm gonna put it down and just go into a mostly silent case here. We'll talk about the gameplay.
That's incredible.
We still haven't gotten to the
I learn.
we haven't gotten to the end of the month yet, so I guess I could play some more ranked play. I guess that would make sense.
We're using real
Source. Here's where you're
Watch
wrong.
out.
See, I don't like that. I don't like a card that would
Job's done.
stop an attack just to say watch out. That sucks. Here, one more. This and this would win. But if this guy dies, I'm in trouble, so I need to
Checkmate. Well done.
just be careful there. I do have somebody right now that's talking a lot about the Homestar Runner series. I hope he's not too upset for the fact that I really didn't like the Homestar Runner series. He's really into it. He's like, when's the next video coming out? And I guess that is my fault. I don't have a video that explains like things come out Monday through Friday, really. I don't have anything that at the beginning of each series to say, yeah, this is coming out, this is coming out. It's frankly completely my fault because I haven't had anybody who's passionately wanted to watch all the episodes yet. And so the first person I come across that actually does want to do it, I'm keep doing a disservice to that person. I need to probably fix that somewhere. I doubt I'm gonna change my recording series anyways. So next time, let's just play some priest record things on standard play. I guess we'll try that. That's gonna be it for this recording. Now, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.